Hey, yo, what is happening? Look to your left. Look to your right. You know what I'm saying? Check yourself twice. You better know what time it is, man. No Cooldown's back in the building. It's episode 76, not the Fallout kind. We're actually good. Sorry, had to put that joke in there off the rip, but it is what it is. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all well. I am, of course, ThatManTripp. That man tired, that man possibly stressed, but that man is still doing damn good because of all this beautiful gaming news, all this beautiful gaming stuff. You know what I'm saying? In such a stale era, things seem to be busier than ever. And of course, we gotta get things covered. We gotta talk about everything and break everything down. With that being said, I'm here, my podcast partner in crime, WenEazy. What's going on, dog?
Chilling, man. Enjoying this nice Tuesday afternoon with absolutely very little important gaming news coming out.
Yeah, you know, it's not probably not much. You know, there's a couple stories here and there. You know, we'll talk about a few of them, I guess. But oh man, and of course we got a special guest in the building. I don't know if this is the second time popping up. I gotta check the number of appearances, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? The man climbing out. You know what I'm saying? The Dark Knight Rises. I'm about to say whatever you know what I mean. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, which only like 2 people do, or maybe like 4. But it is what it is. Ken knows it is in the building. What's going on, Kendall?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Glad to be back. This is the second time. The second time. Remember the last time we did it, but yeah, it's the second time I've been on with you guys. So yeah, man, excited for today. There's been a lot going on.
Definitely has been a lot going on, man. And you know what I'm saying? Our heart goes out to you know what I'm saying, our boy Kai, our boy King. He's unfortunately out. He's got some extra yogurt on his toenails and got an infection. I don't know how that happened, but you know what I'm saying, out some type of random mad snail disease or Mediterranean disease. I don't know what it is, but hopefully he's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm bullshitting, but he'll be back next week. Well, make sure you rate this podcast 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Go to all your audio podcast outlets, and make sure you rate us 5 stars. Just type in No Cooldown. I'll be right there on Spotify for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, I'm about to say iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all of them. We are available everywhere on YouTube as well at No Cooldown. Just youtube.com/@NoCooldown. On Twitter, if we have to start paying for Twitter, I'm not saying this shit ever again. Just know we're not going to be on there. I just want to let y'all know from the rip. But in the meantime, we're there at No Cooldown Pod, on TikTok at No Cooldown Podcast, and on Instagram at No Cooldown Podcast. So yeah, just make sure you check us out there. Support us, man. Show us some love so we can get out there and reach new listeners, reach new heights, and show them what No Cooldown is all about. And speaking of what we're all about, we're about these damn stories. So without further ado, are y'all ready to get into it, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Sir.
Let's get it. So first and foremost, this actually was just brought up right before the podcast. I had to get this in last second. I completely forgot about this, but there's been a lot of buzz and stirring about around the release of Mortal Kombat 1, which most of it's, again, positive, really good, but there's just a significant, I guess, blemish, we could say. And that blemish would be the Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1. We've had some technical displays of how just horrible it actually is in practice. And, you know, a lot of people are not happy. They're not happy about it. So I'm going to throw it to Kendall first, man. Just general reaction to how the Switch version of MK1 dropped.
So I talked about this actually the other day, and I was just like, is nobody embarrassed, or have we become like this greedy? Like, genuinely, like who did you think was going to like actually buy this? Like, if you bought it, why? And I just don't understand. Like, it looks worse than like an Xbox 360 game, bro. Like, I just don't know who, like, and it costs $70.
Yeah. It's nasty.
Like, did they throw the guy out the window that was like, don't charge $70 for this?
That's exactly, it's Nintendo. That's exactly what they did. I think it's funny. As somebody who, like, I used to play on my DS, that was like my main source of gaming. I have bought games that should not have been on that system a couple times. Have they been that egregious? A couple of them have been that egregiously bad. But I did it because that was my only system. And like, I was like, man, I really want to play Call of Duty. I'm going to play it on the DS. Would I recommend that to anybody? No, absolutely not. Don't ever in your lives waste your money that way. It's stupid. if they're not gonna put the effort into these games to look a specific, like to look at least up to par, you don't have to get. I don't expect huge graphical like upgrades from like a Switch, but at the same time, if you're going to be giving us this low quality of a product, man, at least put it on sale. Like don't like $70. That's kind of crazy that you guys did that.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Johnny Cage is looking like he had that, you know what I'm saying, look like the cocaine got to him early in Hollywood. It was looking very rough. Very rough indeed.
People's eyelids didn't load in right. Like they just looked weird, man.
It looked like the bath salt era in Florida and stuff like that, bro. Shit was looking cooked. and they're charging $69.99. Nah, bro. Y'all, I don't know, man. This is bad business practices, man. I ain't gonna lie. On one hand, it's like, why are you buying MK1 on a Switch? But everybody should be entitled to buy games on a Switch and within good reason, within good, honest, you know what I'm saying, business practice. We should know what we're getting, and there should be some standard of quality. But this wasn't it. This wasn't it, brother. It wasn't. Well, nah, man. It is what it is. We'll slide on to the next story here. So recently, Titanfall 2. That game's been getting a lot of new life, man. It has some server fixes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of more people flooding back into the game. But some folks have noticed that an existing game mode kind of changed their title just to 3 question marks or a bunch of question marks. And it has the description, your rockets will blow out the sun. And now a lot of speculation has been picked up around this and a couple other things, including some of the Nessie transmissions in the Apex Legends patch notes. And a lot of it has apparently been relating to the release dates of Titanfall 1, 2, and Apex Legends, with October 26th being the 7th anniversary of Titanfall 2 and a new Apex season the week after on the 31st. So, I mean, there's been a lot of Titanfall buzz, man. Are Respawn cooking anything, or are we just delusional right now? What's going on?
Man, as much as I would love to say that EA realized and listened to their fans and said, hey, we're going to give you what you guys have been asking for. And we're going to start developing a new Titanfall or whatever, you know, to keep the fans happy, to make the people who've been asking for a new Titanfall for years now. You know, I really wish I could say that that's what this is. But I don't think that that's what this is. I think what it could be is like maybe they have a Titanfall Apex event. Like that's the most I could see, because while I'd be so gassed for Titanfall to get an actual sequel. Like that game in this day and in this era would go crazy. We all know that it would probably be the best shooter that we've seen in a long time, because Overwatch is not doing it for a lot of people. Apex is slowly but surely dying. It's kind of sad, and I think that this could be a really good return to form for EA in the shooter genre. But I don't know, man. Like I want to believe that this is the start of something new, something sick. But it's EA, so like expecting them to do the good idea, the right thing, the smart thing, it's like I wouldn't put money on that.
Yeah. I mean, Kendall, I don't know if you're the most familiar with Apex Legends as of late, but I mean, how do you feel about Titanfall? Could do something, maybe? The chances.
Bro, you started reading about Apex, and I stopped listening. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, what are we talking about right now? In all honesty, they're probably going to try to sell more skins. It's probably like some like update to have like Titanfall-esque skins, and that's really all it's going to be. And they might have like a blown up Titan in the middle of like the battle royale field, and that's probably about it. I when it comes to that game and that company, I just have like absolute zero hope that they're going to do anything cool. But they have added a Titanfall mode in that game. That would have been really amazing. It would have been actually a really great job. But they're not going to do that.
No,
they ain't doing that shit, bro. Just don't give me hope. Just don't do all this just to be some BS add-on for an Apex Legends season.
EA. It's EA, bro.
I know.
EA. There are dark clouds that circle over that building. So of course they'll do anything.
Oh my gosh, man. We'll figure it out. But I have a glimmer of hope, but again, that hope can likely be that hope can likely be stamped out at any moment's notice. So shit. we're just gonna wait and see, I guess. Man. Anyways, let's move on. A quicker story, but still EA actually. They confirmed that The Sims 5 will be free to play when it releases now. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good move. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, just in general.
This is terrible.
You think it's terrible?
Oh, yes. Wait. I have it. Oh, yeah. Actually, wait a minute. Kendall, go into detail. Explain.
So the reason why is thinking about any other company as The Sims, like, yes, will content creation in the game go crazy? But it's EA. So what that means is they're going to find a way how to mess this up with microtransactions.
Yeah.
So like, yes, is the idea in the concept like absolutely really cool because the game will be more accessible to people? Yes. But what are those prices going to look like?
Yeah,
interesting point.
That's what just held me back. I'm not gonna lie. Like, again, face value, making The Sims free to play, I think is very, very good. So much access, a lot of creativity can be unlocked by not having that initial paywall. I think it's a game that can benefit greatly from being a free to play model in certain regards and aspects. But where does EA get their money back? That's the question that's burning a hole in the side of my head. Where will they get their money back with this model? And that's what I'm concerned about. Is it just the expansions? If it's just the expansions, then I feel like, if it's just the same thing minus we don't pay the initial fee for the base game, I'm not mad at that. But EA's track record says otherwise. Motherfucker, you thought.
EA is really about to make you pay for the car, for the cups, for the plates.
So, I don't know how like tapped into The Sims you fellas are. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I got a dummy amount of saves and mods and shit. I've gotten into The Sims quite a little bit. So the reason why to me this isn't news is just because like the game has essentially been free to play for like the past year. But we all assume
you're right.
It's free to play because the game was out. Like Sims 4 was out for a long time. Of course it's gonna be free to play. Who's paying $60 for The Sims?
Right.
The reason I think this is like a gray kind of thing for me because I'm not really excited, but I'm also don't think this is necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is just because like EA has already been charging for the cups, for the plates, for the snow, for the flowers, and they're charging people who paid $60 for this game. Like that's what's crazy is that they've always been this greedy. It's EA. Is it cool that they're realizing that this game would have a lot more lifespan? People would be a lot more willing to pay for their overpriced seasonal events like, hey, you want leaves on the ground? Give us $40. It's great that they're like realizing their game is free to play and just like making it a free to play game as opposed to like 2K, which is never going to come to that reality because they know they can charge people $60 because Sims could charge us $60 and people would still buy it, unfortunately. Like, that's still very, like, it would happen. And we all know it would happen. So I'm happy that it's free to play. I'm also with you. Like, I don't know what this means for the actual game itself. I don't know what they're going to charge people for these games. In terms of, like, expansions. Like, are we going to get $60 so that it snows outside? Are people going to be paying $60 so that it snows outside? Because, it takes people buying the stuff for them to keep making those decisions. So, Sims stand. I know this is a crazy thing to ask of gamers. Stand in solidarity and don't pay for some whack ass content.
Stand.
Good luck to that one.
Solidarity? Together? I don't know. That's kind of crazy nowadays. That seems like a foreign language, buddy. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna come from this? This definitely a mystery box type of situation. Like, what are we gonna get out of this shit? But hopefully it turns out good for the people who are again enjoying this game consistently, and just all the modders and all the simmers out there who make content based off this stuff. I hope they don't get shafted with some of the changes that might be coming. So yeah, hopefully that's all kosher. But speaking of a situation that ain't kosher. Square Enix is now in a tough corner as they're reportedly down $2 billion after the underwhelming or maybe not as expected performance of Final Fantasy 16, the poor performances of Forspoken and Marvel's Avengers, as well as other short-lived mobile titles over the past couple of years. So, they're in a financial strait. They're in a bit of a tough situation, and this is where it's at right now. So, Kendall, so where are you first, man? How you feel about where Square Enix is at and why?
Are you surprised? No, like seriously, ask yourself a question. If like, where was the last time you really enjoyed all their games?
They've had some recent bangers, but that's very recent. You're not wrong. Yeah.
They made a Splatoon clone.
Hey, Foam Stars might go crazy.
Let's put some respect on Foam Star's name. And now that we're here, I can finally officially say I'm a foamer. I don't know about you, but I'm a foamer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a foamer, and I'll ride this train till the last bubble is popped. We're foamers till we die over here. You can relax with this Splatoon stuff, buddy.
That's funny as hell. Yeah. I am not really that surprised either. It's kind of sad because they're like, nobody ever wants, the company that you like to go down this path of mediocrity, I guess. But it's also like, man, what are y'all doing over there? Like, you guys have money cheat codes. Like, you guys have Kingdom Hearts. You have access to that IP that is arguably one of the biggest IP in gaming. And you guys underutilized it for a while. Like, don't get me wrong, the 3DS games were gas. There were some really good games, but like, it took y'all until the PS4, end of the PS4 era, to drop a mainline release title. Like, man, I don't know. A lot of stuff that they do kind of just feels like like I said this earlier, they have certain games that they think are going to carry the weight of all the passion projects that they want to do, right? So like Marvel, Avengers, you could see by the way that game was monetized that they thought that they could just put out whatever, and just because it has Marvel on it, people are going to eat it up. And surprisingly enough, gamers have standards. We didn't know this. Like, that was like the first time I was just like, wow, you guys really aren't going to eat up this awful game because it has Marvel. Like, these nerds were not having it. Shout out to the nerds, because man, I've seen some of the Marvel shit. It's awful, but y'all still pay for it. So like, they thought that game was going to carry a lot of the weight of their other passion projects. It did not. And then you have games like Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, the Triangle strategy games. Those games are amazing. Those games are sick. I love those games. But I know for a fact, if I'm a fan of these games and I'm not buying them on release, I know for damn sure a lot of other people aren't. So it's just kind of sad to see, in a sense, that like they just don't really understand that they just don't have the pull. They don't have the game figured out as much as they thought they used to. Because back in the day, Square Enix used to mean something. Now it's kind of just like, oh, y'all still around, but not in like a cool Nintendo way either. Like, more in just like, damn, happy you guys are still here.
Yeah, this is a sad situation, and yeah, I don't know how they're gonna necessarily get out of this. I know their leadership is very interesting. Let's use that word, interesting, because on one side you got former CEOs and some of those people trying to utilize blockchain and do all this other stuff and trying to go into all that, the what's it called, the NFT stuff still, you know what I'm saying? Don't think we forgot. It's been a minute since we talk about that, but I remember we used to talk about that like every week, like, what are y'all talking about? But there's that, and then there's also, again, misguided development, terms. Like, Marvel's Avengers could have been that game, but y'all tried to cash cow it, and it wasn't going to be that. It wasn't going to be that. People put their foot down on it very quickly, which is good. Forspoken got in some trouble early and just wasn't the game it was, it was built to be in certain respects, And
it wasn't even that bad of a game, but the Square Enix like moniker doesn't mean anything anymore.
And that's the tough thing, bro. And it's like, seeing that again, they literally house my favorite franchise of all time, Kingdom Hearts, and it's hard to see that either their priorities, their process, or maybe it's some of their people. It's out of whack. It's out of whack, and it's like, yo, you gotta lock in. You're down $2 billion. This is there after
fourth quarter down $2 billion.
Like this is some real shit. Like, yo, after Ubisoft, it's y'all. Y'all are in the hot seat. Literally, y'all two are right there, bottom two. If y'all watch Big Brother, y'all are up for eviction. You know what I'm saying? One of y'all need to power veto, and y'all need to get up out of there. So who's going to make the right move? Who's going to do it? And I would hope it's Square Enix. You know what I'm saying? No shit to Ubisoft. I hope both y'all get out. But you know what I mean? If I had to pick one, I'm sorry. But like, it's just tough. It's tough seeing like they haven't hit the mark for a good, consistent while. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been consistently on top, and they've had some good stuff. Again, they've had, you know what I'm saying, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. They've kind of came back around on that. They have Final Fantasy 14 online, which has been, again, a consistent uptrend in solid development. They've gotten better and better.
That's the cash cow. I just realized that's what's keeping the doors open.
That's what, right. But it's not enough to supplement the $2 billion in losses they've had for some of these other things that they just missed on. How much longer can they survive with just Final Fantasy 14 online holding them down? You know what I'm saying? Like they can't, that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, bro. They have to lock in, bro. They have to bring out the big guns and focus. No more, again, like short-term stuff. Now, I get it where some companies maybe like, okay, they shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, like focus on just the AAA stuff. I think for the sake of Square Enix and their livelihood, they need to focus on solely the AAA stuff. Just give me Final Fantasy, give me big Final Fantasies, give me Kingdom Hearts, give me more of the big joints, and we're good. That's literally like y'all can make it out the hole, but right now I'm disappointed.
You get a couple mobile games in there, you know, balance it out a little bit, like consistent.
Yeah, they gotta consolidate, bro. They spread their wings too much, and I feel like they tried to gamify some things to create multiple cash cows instead of just focusing on making the best, maybe the most fruitful experiences possible. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was a sign of the times. Maybe it was a sign of they just wanted to capitalize on what the market was moving at a certain point in time. I'm speaking mostly to Marvel's Avengers, but it's not working. Now they got to go back to the drawing board and make shit crack. That's it. It's literally it, man. Square Enix. But moving on here. Speaking of some down situations, this is probably the most boneheaded move of the week, and if we could give an award, we definitely probably would give it to them. In an absolute bonehead move, Unity, which is the game engine company behind Unity Engine, they had announced that they were changing their payment models to trigger price charges and changes for a whole list of things, including installs, revenue thresholds for games over release for everybody. And they're basically making it a lot more monetization heavy, which threw a lot of people off. So everything from indie games to charity games, they were all in the firing line. Nobody was exempt. And the dev world rightly lit Unity's ass on fire. They were against it in every sense of the word. They were getting lit up over this past week. And now they've tried to regroup and see what change they can make to their pricing plan and this, that, and the third. There was even a perceived death threat that we saw, from Unity. Like, we thought things were getting serious, but the police reported that it came from inside the company itself. So either the situation was dire or they're trying to save face as much as possible. I don't know what's going on, but Unity clearly doesn't either. Kendall, let's go to you first, man. How'd you feel about the Unity stuff?
Honestly, at first, I didn't really pay attention to it that much until I saw like the explosion on Twitter. I followed it from like beginning to end now, but like I think it was mostly the thing that because I love indie games. Like Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games, and just the thought about the fact that like it was going to be like able to hit games like that, people being developers getting online and actually being worried about like attacks because people are going to try to use it to like manipulate the system.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments, especially when you saw on Twitter where like everybody, it was like social media almost. Everybody came together to say, you guys are stupid.
Yes.
Fix this.
When the sweaty basement dweller, the game developer, and the casual gamer all agree on something, and that's something that you suck, bro. You suck on an epic level. You suck so hard you bring people together. Like, that is like, I've never seen hating like Martin Luther King an entire community together. Like everybody was like, yo, you guys fucking are awful. And that's crazy. Like shout out to y'all, because I don't think I've ever seen the gaming community together except to tell y'all you suck. And it's also, so I don't know if this is true because I saw this on TikTok, but you know how that goes. Somebody was saying that the only way to avoid the fees was to use Unity's, so Unity has a marketing company where they market like ads on their mobile games. So the reason they did this was to waive that fee of having to pay the 20 cents per download. You just had to like sign up with their advertisement system. Their advertising, like their marketing company.
So they're shoehorning you into more of their ad side.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So you would have to use their system so that they can make money on the back end, because one of the biggest marketing companies for mobile games like has a huge chunk of the market, and they decided to get into that market, but because they already have contracts with all these other people, they're like, well, why would I go with you, Unity? Yeah. So that they were trying to do this to make those people hop off of their plans and go with Unity, which is like nasty business when you think about it, because there's a lot of people who don't have
filthy work
in-game ads. Like every game that's not on a mobile device will not be able to really benefit from that at all. So it's just kind of like it's wild. If that's true, then they have zero foresight, and the people running this company are awful. But we know the people running this company are awful is because the CEO, I believe, of this company was a CEO at EA, another company that fucking sucks.
Right.
And this is the guy who like tried to charge people for things like reloading a gun. Like that was like, I don't know. I still to this day don't know if he was joking or if he was genuinely serious when he said that. But that's been reported that he said that, and it's like nasty.
Yeah, sick bastard. He's also the person that basically brought in packs and loot boxes in FIFA and just basically, again, one of the forefathers of that ungodly concept on gaming. So if you want to blame somebody, you can partly blame him as well. Thanks a lot for nothing. So yeah, it's just bad ideas and bad strategy born from bad business people, and it's just bad. It's just fucking bad. Like, dog, like, again, Wen said it better than me, but when every part of the stool of gaming comes together to absolutely shit on the stupid decision you made, you probably made a stupid decision. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't any debate. It's unanimous. It's across the board. You're dumb. You're dumb for this. You're really anti-consumer, and you're not gonna. People didn't let it fly, and I'm very happy that everybody banded together to not let this fly. I really do appreciate that. And in any case, even if you know what I'm saying, Unity wants to try and walk this back, because I know what they did. They was like, yo, let's see how much people are gonna accept. Let's send out all this crazy stuff because this is our plan A. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can just sneak this in there and people won't bat an eye. Now they're going to try and walk it back a little bit, try and get a little bit more fair price, but still change the pricing, you know what I'm saying, scheme in general. But you've already lost trust with so many people, including developers. Now you see Unreal Engine and them licking their lips like, damn, that's crazy what happened over there, son. That's wild. We would never do you like that, man. We would never do you like that. Just come over to this side. Like, trust is a finicky thing, especially in this climate. In this climate for businesses, once you lose trust or once you do something that warrants people to move, they will move. I think, honestly, in some regards, brand loyalty is on a downtrend in some ways, in my opinion. The brand loyalty for a lot of different things is down in some ways because there's just more propensity for people to move. If they see value in stuff, they're going to move. They're going to break something off. They're going to do what's best for them. And I feel like slowly, not as quickly, but we're seeing that turn where, again, brands are on thin ice. Brands are on thin ice, and they're being held more accountable for certain things. And this is a prime example of that. So good on the folks, good on the people, and Unity. Hold y'all L, man.
Yeah, it's also gonna be interesting to see when like other companies start getting involved, because Pokemon Go and I believe Monster Hunter Go, and I believe a lot of like Fire Emblem Engage, they were made on Unity. So like. Y'all want to have fun with Nintendo lawyers? Y'all can have fun.
Good luck. Once you get them locked in, buddy.
Nintendo lawyers took down Universal before Nintendo was even the Nintendo we know. Like that's how good these lawyers are.
They're different.
So if y'all want to go down that path, go for it, buddy. But it just might not be worth it.
It literally won't be. It won't be, man. This just filthy work. But yeah, man, fucking Unity. Y'all fucking suck this week, bro. Damn, bro. Annoying. Anyways, let's get it moving into the Sony State of Play. They popped up last week with a State of Play for themselves, dropping a couple more updates for the people. We're going to run through some of what we saw here. First and foremost, the biggest announcement I think of the week, man. Roblox is coming to PS5, man. Let's get this out the way. How do you feel about this? Momentous.
I am a 31-year-old adult.
So what is that supposed to mean to me? Huh? You can't pay your respect to Tavion Cole? Rip Tavion Cole?
Oh God, I hate that I know what that is. I really hate that I'm that online. My little cousins, I'm sure, are going crazy right now when they saw that. I have no
idea what that is.
Oh man, shout out to Ace, man. Shout out to Ace. Yeah, that's all I know.
His first video essay was a Roblox
retrospective on Tavion Cole, how they ran up on that boy.
Oh man, internet's such a place.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, Roblox. The Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord VR game, baby. Come on. VR is back. VR game is real, man. How you feel about that?
Oh man, I thought I said this earlier to y'all too, this game actually looks sick. It just sucks that it's PlayStation VR because nobody's playing that. Like as much as
I ask if do any of you guys own one?
No, because they're more expensive.
No. I own Oculus.
They're more expensive than regular VR, while at the same time having less games and less functionality. It's truly a Sony. It's truly a Sony accessory.
It's just tried and true, baby, through and through. Like what the fuck, man? Get this VR shit out of my face, bro. Before I get this sick and throw up on you. Anyways, we got that other game called Baby Steps, which is, I thought it was just like Quap or QWERTY or whatever, that track racing one, but it's kind of open world. I don't know how y'all felt about that one.
It looked interesting, but it's definitely not like that's not the game that I would showcase. But like that wouldn't be the opener to the PlayStation Showcase if I was running it. But I guess like literally,
I just watched it. Did they just show a tech demo?
That's what it looks like. It looks like a
Basically.
really cool tech demo after the console's been out for 3 years now. It feels like.
Yeah,
That's the state of play, buddy. That's the state in which play is at this current moment. You see baby steps and you think innovation.
That whole trailer just makes me like glad I can like jog. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That trailer makes me sad that I own a PlayStation 5. It's like it looks cool, but it's like showing it to me one time, sure, okay, like yeah, we saw it the first time, haha, it's kind of crazy, it's kind of quirky, whatever. A second time, like y'all pushing this, y'all pushing this. I feel like a drug addict who's getting like finagled at the corner. Like you're really pushing this? This is what you want me to like? This is baking soda, bro. This is all baking soda.
Oh,
you're not fooling anybody.
See, you want us to really put this, man? Listen, it is what
you want to
is.
ingest this? This is what you think of me?
Insane. But no, man. Move forward. We had again just a quick little trailer on some new controller colorways and console wraps, just different like earth tone colors or whatever, like the silvers and reds and all that other shit. Who cares? Unless you like those types of colors, then yeah, good for you. Next up, we have some Helldivers 2, some more gameplay on that and how that was looking. I can jump in on this. This has consistently been one of the games I'm like, yes, I need more. I love it. I really like to look at Helldivers 2. I'm sorry, this game looks mad fun. And again, I've said this before in the podcast, and I'll say it again. I love when games just make that daring jump out of their existing plane, like this one. I'm forgetting the other game that we talked about, but when they go again, this is just like kind of top down. Again, the same concept, but it was just top down, a lot more. It wasn't the same. We're not on the same. This is purely 3D. This is purely like, you know what I'm saying, action out in the open type stuff. This is a complete jump forward and a jump up, in my opinion, into what they're doing. I'm loving the look. I'm loving the gameplay loops. I think this game's gonna be a lot of fun. This might go over people's heads or under the radar. Make sure you check it out though. I'm saying this looks like some good co-op fun.
Yeah, it does. No, I am actually really excited for this game. The thing that sucks too, but I will say the thing that sucks about this game is that most multiplayer games in this day and age, you kind of need to have crossplay to have some kind of life, I feel.
Yeah.
So while this game looks really fun and it looks like it's going to be a blast, especially if you got people to play with, I don't know that many people with PlayStation 5s, but I know people who would buy this on PC.
Oh yeah.
So like if there's some crossplay in this game, this is going to have a great lifespan. If it's only on PlayStation, I might play with like my boys once or twice, but I just don't see it having a crazy...
It's coming on Steam. It's coming to Steam.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Then I definitely can see it. I could definitely, because it looks like a really good game.
Yeah, it's coming to Steam.
But if you can't play with PC people, then you gotta play with only PlayStation folks. Like I think that's kind of like what killed a lot of their first party games, like the little car game that they had, Destruction All Stars. Like I think that game would have been sick if it had more than just the Sony community.
Yeah, no, I hear it. But definitely, this is one where it's like it's gonna be a tidy ass game. It's gonna be like, yo, people are gonna have fun with this. Definitely gonna have fun with this. Moving forward, we had more Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora gameplay. Yay, cool, awesome, wonderful. Moving on, we got more, or actually the announcement, or just more of a trailer of the Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC coming out this week, as of this recording, coming out on the 21st, so on Thursday of this week. More Resident Evil. Yes, I'm here. I'm sure Wen is excited about more Resident Evil.
Dog, we've been in such a Resident Evil drought. I'm just surprised we made it this long. I thought they forgot about the franchise, truthfully.
How could they? You know what I'm saying? They're crown jewel, buddy. Come on. Oh man, we're definitely not gonna mention the VR mode that's in there because I don't care. But you know, if you like VR, Resident Evil might actually be decently equipped for that. They might actually have it optimized for it. So good luck with that. But yeah, Separate Ways, Ada, yes, more, cool, good. I need it. My backlog is suffering, but I'll still dive in. It's fine. Next up, we had Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We had a new trailer pull up for that game, kind of showing the expansive world of the entirety of Rebirth, what's going down, what it's looking like. It's going to be releasing February 29th, 2024 on Leap Day. It's literally coming out on Leap Day next year. How do y'all feel about what y'all seeing from Rebirth?
Makes me think that I still have to beat the first one. Like every time I see things, I'm like, this looks really good. Like it looks stupid. It looks like, man, had this game, like had the Final Fantasy games came out like 2 years sooner at the same quality, like I don't think we would be having this $2 billion discussion about Square Enix right now. But I feel like this game is gonna help with their little $2 billion problem. I don't know if this is going to make $8 billion in revenue because that's it's not a GTA, you know, but I think this is a really good step in the right direction for Square Enix. I think it looks amazing. And honestly was one of the two things in this showing that I was three things. There's only three things in this showing that I was actually excited about when I saw it. I was like, oh, this actually looks sick, you know?
I don't own a PS5, so I'm going to be very honest with you guys here. I'll watch the game. It definitely looks cool. But this isn't still making me jump up and get a PS5, so I'm not going to lie. Yeah, no. If it comes to PC, maybe.
They do come to PC like usually after a year, but I know what you mean. Because those graphics, when 7 dropped, I was like, man, I'm not running that on nothing. Now I could, but like back then I was like, that's gonna kill me.
Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna lie. We should be better. It should be better off now, especially. Yeah, Square Enix are always good with their PC releases like a year after, so I wouldn't be too worried about that type of stuff. But yeah, listen, Cloud on a moped, I'm cool. He's on the Segway. We win. They doing dance numbers. They doing a whole bunch of shit. Sephiroth is doing tag team moves with Cloud. This is what we want. And this also looks like 100%. This is gonna be 2 discs. This is 2 discs like a motherfucker, bro. I'm not gonna lie. No wonder how all these people are trying to go discless, man. This shit's taking a toll on people.
They should just sell hard drives at this point. Like
honestly,
just
that's
get
crazy.
Those. I'm not lying to you when I say like at this point just sell those hard drives because nobody's buying like 60 gigabyte 70. I know there's 100 gigabyte hard drives out there. Like I've seen those portable ones. Just put those games on there at this point because there's no reason I should download a game and when I pop it in it says 100 gigabyte download. what's on this disc then outside of a middle finger looking at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that update at the size of like what feels like a house? Like, why? It doesn't make sense, bro. Why are these updates and why are these updates massive? Why are these downloads massive if there's a disc inside my system?
Yeah, listen,
Not wrong.
Beats me. You asking the wrong motherfucker question, but I hear it though. I hear it. I get you, man. I get you. But last but certainly not least, we had a whole extended look at Spider-Man 2 coming up in October, but we had to get some new views of the city, new views of what we getting into. Again, showing off more the switching point of views between, you know what I'm saying, Miles and Peter, as you can, again, switch between them freely, you know, as you're traversing across the city. The expanded map, I believe, moving over into Queens as well. That's expanded. That's super dope. Again, the updated environments, everything. You can see Visions Academy and all that stuff. All the new traversal methods, the wingsuits, the little I guess like the pulley. I don't even know what to probably call it, but just like the whatever levers, whatever in the environment to springboard you into the air, whatever that shit is. Again, more of the Venom powers, more of the new suits, a bunch of everything. We had even like the church bell scene where Venom's getting like, you know what I'm saying, messed up by Craven and them damn bells. A lot of shit was talked about in this, you know, span of a couple of days since that whole debacle. But yeah, Spider-Man 2. How are you feeling about it? Let's go to you first.
I think it looks interesting. I am happy that this game is actually coming out. At the beginning of this year, I genuinely didn't think this game was going to come out. A little bit too much more information than I need right now. I felt like the first showing was already good enough as it is. I don't think we needed more, just because it showed us just enough, and now I feel like this is a little too much. But it did look great. Excited to play this game. This is probably one of the few games this year that's like, hey, I actually want to buy a PlayStation now. Like this would be, if I had to choose one that would make people buy a PlayStation, it would be this one.
I agree with you. You know why? Because this makes me want to actually get a PS5 to get this game. But I know it's coming to PC, so I can wait. If I was impatient, this would make me want to get a PS5 for real. Like, I watched that, and like, if somebody was to get me a PS5, or if I saw a bundle with like Spider-Man 1 and 2, like, I definitely would get them easily.
Yeah, I hear it, bro. I'm just like, yo, this is damn sure a console seller to me. I'm sorry, bro. They was even addressing some of the water physics, bro. No more of the puddle debates, bro. Y'all good. Trust me. And they even mentioned some cool stuff as well as, like, you know, when you're one character, you can actually see the other person doing like other stuff in the field. Like, if you swing by, you know, say if you're Miles and you're swinging around, you could potentially see Peter doing some other stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like fighting crime or whatever, blah, 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 getting a donut, doing all kinds of stuff. And like, it's just, I just love that attention to detail, that little attention to detail. Insomniac does it in spades. They do it so well. And it's just nice to get that, bro. It's just so nice to see it, and I'm calmly excited. I had confidence that this game was going to come out this year, and I'm just keeping my cool until it finally arrives, because I know it's going to be a fantastic game. Insomniac don't miss when it comes to superheroes, man. They really don't. And dog, like, I don't know if it's gonna be in Game of the Year category. I don't think it's gonna win Game of the Year personally, just because of other games that have came out and just, like, you know, blown everything out the water, in my opinion. But this is 100% in Game of the Year conversations, and I wouldn't doubt if people pick this as their Game of the Year. That's just me, though. All right. Let's push forward just a little bit. We had one more direct, man. And in fact, it was earlier than the Sony State of Play. It was a Nintendo Direct, ladies and gentlemen. They had I don't know, was it just me? Or they were just like, hey, bro, we got hella games. Come see them. And they just dropped like 45 minutes worth of like a bunch of stuff. Was it just me?
No, I don't think it was just you. I think it was also interesting that you mentioned that, because it's like, They didn't even say like, oh, we have a lot of first party announcements. And maybe they're just saying that now because like they want us to be like, whoa, they really had all these crazy announcements, but they literally were like, yeah, this isn't going to be anything crazy. And then it felt very crazy.
Bro, they were literally like, they started pretty hot and they just kept rolling. I ain't gonna lie. They had some lows, but Nintendo just shows a variety of stuff. And again, the Nintendo format is honestly tried and true at this point. I think they're the best at this. They show games that literally are coming within the next year. They're not showing anything that's beyond a year out or anything like that, except for Metroid Prime. But that's a whole other.
Yeah,
we're gonna put that to the side. We're gonna put that one to the side. But they usually do very well to, again, have a good outward range of titles that they're gonna show, and we can run through it. We can start off hot. We had the Splatoon 3 side order DLC coming spring 2024. We have a Splatoon aficionado with us. So Kendall, can you please break down what we were seeing? Yeah, you damn right I was.
I knew you were going to say this. So,
Absolutely.
like, honestly, I didn't think that they were going to even announce this game, or the DLC at that point in time. I really thought like we were going to get news in like 2024, but it was like a very nice reception to like actually get it. I know that for a lot of people, they're just like, okay, like that's just like whatever. But to a Splatoon fan, that was like a very big like way to start off. It wasn't a splat fest. It was for like the actual DLC that's coming. So it is spring though, and like I kind of said, I was like, all right, why did I need to know now? But cool. Any information is something. We'll take it. Most of the people in the scene will take it. They'll speculate for forever, and that's really it.
Yeah, nah, I hear it, bro. I hear it. I can't remember the last time this was shown off. Like just at least a tease of side order. I think that was like the last direct before that. It was some months ago.
I want to say it was around. I want to say it was around March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something around earlier this year. But yeah, nah, man. Shout out to all the splatters out there, man. And all that stuff, man. Shout out to y'all. I got it. But next up, we had a reveal of Mario versus Donkey Kong actually coming out of February 16th of next year. This was definitely a surprise as well. How'd you feel about this one?
I was actually kind of shocked. I thought they forgot about this game. And even when I first played this game, I was like surprised that it even like existed, because I remember downloading it, buying it on my Game Boy Advance and being like, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and that was one of the best. I felt like that game was so underrated. I feel like not many people played it or talked about it. I was just like, this is such a good game, like genuinely a good Mario game.
Yeah, I mean, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is just good in general. So
yes,
yeah.
Even March of the Minis was really good too. Like they had so many bangers, and I'm just sitting here like, damn, like why? Whatever happened to it? So I'm really happy that we're getting it back. Thank you, actually, Nintendo. This was actually really, really cool. That out of all the old games, out of all the old games or games that I thought were forgotten that y'all brought back, I was never gonna in a million years guess you guys were gonna bring Mario vs. Donkey Kong back. And I'm happy that you guys did.
How was this direct? It was legitimately, oh, yeah, we thought you never do it. Oh, shit, you guys actually did it.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. There were several of them, honestly. And just ones where it was like, I was not thinking you were going to ever do this or this was ever going to pop up, but you did do it. And that kind of brings us to our next one, which was Spy X Family or Spy X Anya Operation Memories. I don't know what the hell was happening here, but Anya just getting a game like that? I don't know how y'all felt about it. I was like, oh, this exists?
Yeah. This was interesting because I was like, man, I like Spy X Family. My girlfriend put me on, but I just thought it was super interesting that she got a game in this day, and like I just was not expecting it. I don't think it's a bad call from them by any means, but honestly, don't think I'm gonna play it. But I feel like the Switch and a game and an anime like Spy X Family, I feel like it fits. It makes sense. I feel like both fan bases kind of overlap.
Damn. Nah, I hear it, bro. I was like, damn, you exist? Cool. All right, you listen, bro. I'm about to say, getting more game time, more airtime to other animes out there. I'm not gonna name names, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But after that, we had a couple more games that I'm definitely not gonna mention because, you know what I'm saying, who gives a fuck? But you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term. Sorry about that, the people who won't get mentioned. But we had Princess Peach Showtime next, and this was something that the more the trailer went on, the more I was like, oh, nah, this is kind of crazy. Wait a minute. So listen, Ken, let's go to you first. How'd you feel about the trailer as it went on and just your general reaction to it?
Princess Peach?
Yes.
Showtime?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to admit that in the beginning of this, I was just like okay. Like this is when it was just starting off, I was like, oh, like, are you guys gonna go a little harder? Because the other game that came out years ago was Super Princess Peach.
Mm-hmm.
That game was fire. Let me just tell you that right now. Then they showed Peach as a sword fighter, and I was like, wait, this is kind of fire.
Whoa, yeah. What y'all doing over here?
What's going on? And then you see her in like a kung fu. Like I have to say that it has that Nintendo charm. This is going to be a game that I'm going to get. I don't know why. I like the Nintendo princesses, Daisy number one. But outside of that, yeah, I'm picking this up. Me personally. But as you know, I'm a Nintendo fiend, so I'm getting this.
Nah, it's fair. I ain't gonna lie. It definitely surprised me again. I mean, just as the trailer went on, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of different forms she's getting into. This is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It looks like a healthy game. It looks like a healthy game. I give it that, man. Shout out to Princess Peach. And then moving forward, we had I guess the surprise announcement that Tomb Raider 1 through 3 was getting a remaster. I was about to say, I was just confused and also very surprised. And you can like do the whole toggle back and forth between the OG graphics and then the updated graphics. That was super cool. So I don't know how I felt about that one.
I was like, sure, like that's cool. Not a big Tomb Raider fan, but
I'm not a
Listen, not a hater either. Like I'm happy. You know, she's getting some love. Shout out to them.
Triangle titties updated. We're winning. That's all you need to know. That's all I'm saying. All right. And then next up, we have possibly one of the most fun games I've possibly ever seen get announced for the Switch coming out soon. Trombone Champ. Again, a game where you can play even with co-op players or even whatever, but you're playing with a trombone. Again, you're just doing a bunch of different songs like it's a rock band type of game. On the Switch, that could be hilarious. I don't know how I felt about that one.
No, that's the thing. Like, what sucks is you don't get the mods. Because if you've never seen like Sephiroth's theme song for the PC, it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
That joint's hilarious. But like they did add like little things so that like you can use the Joy-Con to actually like play the instrument and like different like not directions but like back and forth. So like it's something that you get to play with like your friends and your family and just like have fun, and that's really it, which isn't a problem.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Definitely a super fun one. When I saw you had some comments about this one a little bit, but Battle Crush was that I guess free to play brawler battle royale style game coming spring 2024. It had like 3 teams of 10. It kind of looked like Pokemon Unite from the like initial looks, but I know you had some thoughts on that one.
It looked really interesting because of that, because it looked like Unite, and I have a lot of fun with Unite, and the game just in and of itself looked like some fast paced, like cool, like action. It reminded me of a little bit of a MOBA, and I'm like addicted to that game like genre right now. So I would play this. I would get the homies who I play Unite with to try this out. It does look interesting. I want to play it, but it's also on Steam. So it's like, do I want to play this on a Switch or do I want to play this on my PC? That is the real question.
Yeah,
that is a real question.
I hear it. I probably opt for PC, but still, it looks like something that's definitely plausible on the Switch as well. So I'm not mad at that. And then out the cut, they were just like, "Hey, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD refresh summer. What's going on? Good luck." I'm like, "What?" Kendall, I know we peeped this. We were like, "What what are they doing? What's happening?"
We knew about this. Like, I believe it was like known. I'm not even sure by like data miners or whatever, like not data miners, but leakers or whatever. I think it was like known that this was coming. But still, it's cool. The thing I didn't know is that, was it Dark Side of the Moon or Darker Side? I can't remember whatever they call it. But that was like only the American release. So I was so confused when they called it Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, but supposedly in Japan and in EU it was
just
Luigi's
2?
Mansion 2. Yeah, it was just 2.
It wasn't Dark. Wow, it wasn't Dark Moon.
Dark Side. It wasn't Dark Moon. No.
Wow.
So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I'm excited to give this a try. Like, I'm glad that they did. Like, they're doing things for no reason. They're just like,
Facts.
Oh, would you like this game updated in like regular graphics for modern standards? Okay, here you go.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear it.
So like, I'm happy that they did
the side quest era.
That's basically it. Yeah, it's a side quest era. I'm gonna pick this up. I'm definitely gonna stream it. Like, this is the only one I haven't played, so I wanna actually play it.
Ah, I hear it. And then we had a couple of League of Legends games after that, and one of them was Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story, which looked like a kind of like a buddy cop platformer type thing, where it's like you had a monster that looked like Sully from Monsters Inc. come through and do some wild shit. And if I disrespect anybody from League of Legends, I'm sorry. When that's my fault. I don't know.
Me personally, I don't respect the character, so
All right.
I don't care. That character is like, it's super cute and cuddly when you're playing League and you're trying to like freaking kite your ass off and you see a big ass dude with a snowball just smack you into the air and then you just die because he just chomps you and you're dead. I'm sorry, triggering. Anyways, this game actually looks really, really freaking cute. I've been waiting on this game for like a year now. I followed their releases because they showed off 3 games that they were going to release this year, and this will be the 3rd one of 2023. This game looks cute. I love the thing about League of Legends is that the lore is so big that you can have these games and have all these characters interact and have their own stories. It's an amazing it's an amazing thing to have as a gaming community. Like Riot really knocked it out of the park with League because they can do these kinds of things. I'm excited for this game. I'm more excited for Bandle City or Bandle Story because that looks like Stardew Valley but with like the little League of Legends characters, like the little Yordles. Hella cute, hella chill vibe. Definitely gonna play that game after I just got absolutely demolished in the game of League and I'm ready to kill somebody. But both of these games look pretty solid. I will say this though, the most recent games from the League of Legends stories haven't been bad, but they haven't been worth the asking price is what a lot of people have been saying. Like they're not bad games, but like it feels like if you would have charged me $20 for these games as opposed to like the 30, we would be more happy because it feels like you guys are kind of upcharging just because it's League of Legends characters are in it. But this game does look interesting. I want to see some gameplay, like some solid. I need to see like a playthrough and see how it runs on the Switch before I can commit to anything though.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear it, man. I was to say, and then after that we had WarioWare Move It that was also coming. You know what I'm saying? When was the date for it? I believe it was November 3rd of this year. Yeah, November 3rd, doing all kinds of crazy shit. I'm not doing a Bacall.
That game is crazy. That game is crazy. That game is crazy.
I'm not doing a Bacall in the middle of my room. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not putting the Switch remote to my ass like that, bro.
Yeah, nah. They were doing some insane things in that video, man.
What were these devs doing? What were these devs doing, brother?
That's WarioWare for you. That's WarioWare. Like it's supposed to be insane.
I'm here for it. I'm bringing this to the Growth Retreat because I know I'll win every game. Because y'all got dignity and pride, and I'm being there shaking ass and taking dubs. You can't stop me.
Game is crazy.
Whatever, right? It does look fun, but yeah, Wario wildin'. That's all I know. Wario def wildin'. Oh my goodness. Outside of that, we had the final DLC trailer for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe coming this holiday. They had Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, Peachette, a bunch of new courses coming through in the mix. How did you feel about some of these new additions for the last DLC drop?
I think it's dope.
Funky Kong being in Mario Kart again feels like Sora coming back. Like Sora being like Funky Kong was such a staple in the Wii that it was wild that he wasn't in the game until this point. But they knew they had to pull out the big gun. I think they knew they had to put Funky Kong in this game. They just knew that they couldn't do it early. They had to wait because everybody else, like Pauline, sure, like the weird caterpillar dude, sure, I don't really care. Even Diddy Kong, which is like crazy because Diddy Kong Racing, DKR. Like it's a full circle moment. It's like cool, but nothing beats Funky Kong. Kong, come on, like that's iconic.
Yeah, nah, they went crazy with that one in my opinion because everybody thought there was gonna be one. They didn't think that there were gonna be multiple. So for them to end it off like this is kind of dope, and it means that like it's finally over. Hopefully, maybe.
I don't think y'all want it to be over because I don't think we're getting another Mario Kart game, but hey, whatever floats y'all boats. I will say this though. I played Mario Kart for the first time in a long time recently, and I finally played some of these tracks. Anything from the Mario Kart Tour, those maps, garbage. They suck. Yeah. They are not good. Every single time I see them, I'm like, that could have been a way better track because these tracks are awful. I don't get DK Mountain where the barrel shoots me to the top of the mountain, but I get freaking Sydney. Like, it's cool that it's in Sydney, but the map sucks.
Yeah.
Like, let's call a spade a spade.
I agree.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I was watching you playing the other day. I'm like, yeah, some of these other.
And I was cooking them boys.
Yeah, you were for the most part, but it was that one track. It was literally a tour track. It was like the directions kept changing, whatever. Like the roads kept changing. I was like, yeah, it's kind of ass, bro.
The concept behind tour maps is, hey, your GPS fucks up every lap. Like, that's really what it is. It's just like it recalculates every lap, because it's not like you go somewhere new. It's just like, now instead of taking a right turn, you take a left turn. How does that feel, bud? Intense gaming right there. Like, sure.
All right, buddy. Do what you do. But yeah, nah, definitely. I'm gonna tap into that last DLC anyways, because we gotta talk about, you know what I'm saying, certain events that need to be held, you know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that another time. But speaking of events, a whole new event is coming up for Among Us, because a new map is coming in October. I don't know if people are still playing Among Us like that, but the Fungal is coming next month. How y'all feel about that?
There was a GIF or a GIF, whatever you call it, of the little guy hitting the mushroom. That joint was insane. Whoever took the time out to make that on that art team, you need help. But outside of that, I don't play Among Us, so I've never actually played it. Like, it's not even like anything that I just never got invited. You know, seriously. I just did. I was in my like super loner phase, and like I just never got invited to play.
I feel like I don't like doubt you, but I can also see like you saying this and then somebody showing a clip of like you being mad at Splatoon and somebody being like, "Hey, Ken, have you tried Among Us?" You're like, "I'm not playing that dog shit stupid ass game." I'm sorry, but I'm not a liar in real life like some of you.
So, there was one thing I did see, because I do pay attention to what people say on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Yo, honestly, you guys could need to just make a map editor at this point and just allow your community to like do whatever they want."
Yeah,
because one map a year is just not enough.
So here's the thing too, is like, what's funny is like, I was friends with people who are very into Among Us. That's kind of why the reason I don't play Among Us is mostly just because every time I try to play Among Us, a lot of the people who would invite me are super sweats, and they can call me out in a moment's notice because they know I'm lying because I don't know everything. And they also like, it's just not as fun anymore to me, because it's just like it became an esport at that point. So I kind of like, if y'all wanted to do one, sure, because I know that like growth would be cool, because a lot of people we have varied, but like I'm not jumping into Among Us anytime soon. A lot of people started modding Among Us and like adding things like the class system that they're, because there's classes now in Among Us. Like you can do like there's like a savior one where like while you're a ghost you can save one person from dying or something like that. I think like that was either a mod or like or it's new, now in the game. But there are certain things that, like, for example, there's an engineer. You're not a killer, but you can go into vents. So like that's something that is like
kind of hard.
Yeah, like it's cool. Like they added a bunch of new things, but those things were added first via mods because the three members of the development team, because there's only like 3 of them, maybe 4, could not keep up with the demand when this game became an overnight success, which sucks for them. But it's also like, yeah, I think that personally, if I were them, I would drop map editors. I would drop things to let people create things for this game,
right?
Because there's no way they can keep up with it, because there's just too many people wanting to. Yeah, like the team, when they won their game award, they were all inside like a college dorm room.
Facts.
It was like all 3 of them, and then one person was like in the window because it was during COVID, so they all had to like isolate. One person was like, "I don't live with y'all, so like I can't be there," but he was like at the window, like, "Hey y'all, thank you guys for the award," like that type shit. That's how small the team was.
Wow. Right.
You know, it's a dope game. It's happy to see it's getting a little bit of more life, but it's just like. It's kind of, to me, a little bit past the prime.
Yeah, no, I hear it, man. But last and certainly not least, one final thing they left us with. The scene was set. It was a calm, a couple of seconds before the screen went dark, and then slowly but surely, a book with a giant star revealed itself. And Kendall lost his fucking mind for a good I'd say 8 minutes.
Bro.
Lost his mind. Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door remaster is coming. It was officially announced. Listen, let's get straight to it, Kendall, man. How you feel?
I still can't believe it. Like, it's not supposed to happen. Like, if I was to wake up tomorrow and somebody told me like none of the events that happened in the past few weeks like happened, I would believe them. Like, there's just no way that we are getting a 1,000-Year Door. Like, a lot of people have said, I've said the same thing. I would have taken like an eShop release, $30, $40, whatever it would have been, right? But a full-blown remake, I can't believe that they actually, like, I was in tears because I was just like, bro, they hit somewhere like a chord with like me where I remember myself. You know, like, yeah, have you ever seen Ratatouille and the guy is like eating the food?
My man hit
and then he
the
goes
flashback.
Back to his childhood. That is what happened to me, bro. Like, I understand that for some people gonna be like, yo, you really, no, I love this game. All right. I've played it again. I've played it many times. I love this game. And I'm very happy that Nintendo finally recognized this game. Even if they never do another, like, I'm just happy to say that I was 31 years old when Nintendo decided to do that. I'm so happy that they did it.
I can't top that. I'm just saying, I'm happy that you got that moment. I'm happy that you got that and it's on the way. You know
Bro,
what I'm
it's not just, this isn't the one, you know, the thing is, I keep talking about this with Nintendo, and I know it's off topic a little bit. This isn't the one moment, because it was Metroid Dread.
Also, yeah,
and I look, and they've like, when it comes to the Switch right now, and especially like when it comes to being a Nintendo fan, if you are like anybody that's grown up with like the GameCube games, anything like that, they have done a great job of actually looking at their fan base and being like, wow, like they actually really enjoy the Switch. All right, let's give them this. Let's give them that. And I'm like, okay, this is actually insane.
Yeah, no, I hear it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and it's a weird like balance between, again, it's primarily like, you know, again, it's a kid's platform. It's mainly geared towards younger audiences, but there's also that balance and care and that duality of, yo, we know some of our audience is older, some of our audience grew up with these things, and it's like, yo, it's good to kind of bring it back into the fray. So yeah, no, it's these types of days where I'm like, damn. When Nintendo got it, they damn near unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Because like, yo, they know their audience at the end of the day. Sometimes they spite y'all a lot. You know what I mean? They're online. Again, there's a lot of ways you can point to the L's they took in terms of community, but when they're on it, they're fucking on it, man. Honestly. And it's, I see it, man. It's a W. It's a W. This was a really good showing for them in general, especially with the Paper Mario stuff on top. I think they had a good day out. They had a good day out. Man, but yeah, I guess overall, how'd y'all feel about that conference? If you want to give it a letter grade, I'm about to say, Sony, I'm not giving you a letter grade. We're not going back to you. I'm sorry, but Nintendo, how'd you feel about the direct for? I'm about to say out of A to F.
For me, I would have to give it like, I put it at like a B plus, A minus, around there. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I would say about B minus B. Like, I don't think there's anything there that really felt like a waste of time.
Yeah,
right.
I would get
B plus, actually. B plus.
Yeah, I give it a solid B. Honestly, I think it really like it had good pace to it, and again, it started off really strong. Splatoon 3 and Mario, you know what I'm saying? They had a little something for everybody. Everything's coming within the next year, and again, more often than not, it was either a surprise or a game that people again weren't expecting, but they're thoroughly happy to see. So I'm very pleased with how they put stuff out. And this is something that's also interesting me. Maybe is it because of the rate of this is coming out, or maybe all the rumors about the Switch 2 and stuff. But this, I don't know if it's a coincidence that all the gear up for some of these, like, you know, some of the legacy titles or some of the legacy games and some of the legacy sub-series are coming back around for that. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know if it's, again, if it's just conjecture and I'm waffling or whatever the hell it is, but it could be a cool thing that all these kind of releases and drops are gearing up towards a much bigger release, and it's like they kind of have that step stool to kind of break off of. You know what I'm saying? If there's any truth or credence to a Switch 2 being around in the end of next year, by the end of 2024, they have these titles to kind of, settle back on and have that kind of that natural boost. That would be cool to see. That would be cool if that was mapped out to where, oh yeah, we had Paper Mario ready to get remastered and stuff, and we have it built up ready for the next console to drop. You know what I'm saying? That on top of maybe just a console sale that they haven't mentioned yet, that will be a cool plan. So I hope that the surprise titles that we're seeing aren't just a coincidence, and that could be my gut feeling, but who knows? But so far so good. Give them that. All right. Moving on. We got the main story, y'all. It's time. We got to talk about it, bruh. So, I guess across the last 24 to 48 hours, man, as of this recording, some minor happened. Xbox accidentally leaked a bunch of their own internal documents, unredacted, to the public case site, where we have caught a glimpse of so many emails and internal information that I don't even know what to completely do with it. So we got to see some of the highlights. But first, again, Phil Spencer did drop a statement and said, "We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready." But there's been so much, man. And the first, I guess, stop we'll make is, I guess, an acknowledgement from the internal team that what we saw from some of these, communications back and forth, that, the 16-month gap that they had between Halo, the last Halo game, and the next AAA game that they were going to drop was a disaster around May 2022 time. And he said, yeah, it was ass. So how'd y'all feel about kind of this admission of an L in terms of their release slate?
I think it's funny that they know it's an L. Well, not funny, but I think it's good that they're like, yo, we kind of messed up on this. Like, not many people, like, having that acknowledgement that they failed means that they know they failed and they're trying to be better about it. Because I feel like since Halo Infinite, they definitely have not made the same mistake of, like, just not having anything dropping, like, soon, Like, I feel like the Game Pass always has new games being thrown on there, so they at least learned from their mistakes. That's a really good sign.
Yeah. I'm glad. Honestly, again, this is something that is very, very understated sometimes, but Phil Spencer is a very good, at least from what I see, he's a very good leader. He's a very good leader. From the disarray that they were in before he kind of rose to prominence and had his time in the sunshine and stuff, and is leading the pack. This is such a welcome change, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that there's that level of, at least from what we see, there's that level of maturity and just blunt, just honesty, from this period. Like, he knows what's up. He's a gamer through and through. So I'm glad they're just admitting, like, hey, that was ass. We were ass right there. It's not good. But moving on to kind of one of the next big sticking points that we saw from, just this whole leak in general was a bit more of the Xbox Game Pass structure and just some of the planning behind it. And we got some news that in May 2022, around that time, there was about again, the situation that was Starfield and Redfall got delayed from that point, and they got pushed back into, this year. Microsoft had some internal conversation about ballparking their costs to get major third-party games on day one for Xbox Game Pass. And they mentioned some titles like Assassin's Creed Mirage. They were ballparking $100 million to get it on board for day one on Game Pass. Jedi Survivor, $300 million to get day one on Game Pass. And Baldur's Gate 3, only $5 million to get on Game Pass. So, insane to think about the process behind getting some of these games. But just now that we have some of the price estimation, how are we feeling about just their strategy with this stuff, man?
I think that's really funny. They kind of, oh man, if it was $5 million, they should have dropped the $5 million, man, because Baldur's Gate on the Game Pass would have been crazy, bro.
That would have been crazy.
They missed the mark with that. I think it's interesting that they look into that. It's such a weird thing, man. Like, I don't know. It's so interesting that we get to see this like this view of gaming. We get to see them say, hey, we need to put this money aside to make sure we can get this on Game Pass. It's so wild that this dropped. It gives you so much insight to see how these companies like function.
Yeah, honestly. And then when you think about it, man, it's like, damn, it's like, this shit is tough. Imagine the situation that they were in. Again, their first party titles are in a rut. They're getting delayed. They're getting, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff on the back burner. You have to spend, they were looking to spend $405 million approximately, you know what I'm saying, to get some of these titles. That was their budgeting thought process. You got to spend $400 million to make a game at this point. In this point in time, probably the average is probably not even $100 million yet. You know what I'm saying? Only the AAA, super AAA titles get over $100 million at this stage in time. Jedi Survivor $300 million. That EA quote is ridiculous. That's insane.
Yeah.
That Star Wars name is fucking wild.
Yep.
When you think about it, though, like, not to say that that's like valid, because I don't buy games to put on my streaming services. I don't know how this all works. Like, you also have to know is that like these people are giving up an entire potential market. Like, people on Xbox are not going to be like, I'm buying this Jedi Fallen Survivor even though I have Game Pass day one. Like, they're not doing that. Nobody's doing that. Some people like will literally not buy games because they think it's going to be on Game Pass. So like they have to give up not only the Xbox market, also the PC market. They have to like ask for a price that is going to give them a good amount of money for their game. You may have people like on PlayStation buying these games regardless. Like, that's still maybe a thing that happens, but you kind of have to ask for a lot because it's saying like, it's kind of like taking a risk now. It's like, yo, do you think you have the game that justifies people paying $60 for? Or do you want to just take the cash out now and get a really good deal and get like $300 million for the game? And now your game has broke more than even.
Yeah. It's insane. I'm just saying the scale of this thing is insane. And like, think about how much, again, like Xbox is putting up just to get in the, just to make sure their strategy works and to make sure they're in the same conversation in terms of success and just their business model and competitiveness as PlayStation and Nintendo. That's how much is on. These are the table stakes. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to really put in perspective when you're seeing it like live now. And again, I know a part of me is like, when is looking at Assassin's Creed Mirage, $100 million? That shit not even worth $3.
I would not pay $100 million.
I know that was in your head. I know that was in your head when you see that shit, bro. I'm dead. But again, Kendall, you seeing some of these price ranges? How you feel about that?
Yes, it's whatever. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know what to say outside of that. It's whatever.
It is what it is, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's just, yeah. It just, to me, the biggest sticking point is they're willing to risk almost everything to make sure Xbox Game Pass is lucrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They dropped the whole note. They're saying like some of the people internally were worried about like Xbox Game Pass because there was like 9 months, there was no growth, there was nothing. So it's just like, damn, they're all in with Game Pass, bro. There's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's evident. We already knew this, but it's crazy to hear that confirmation from the inside as well. Just like, yo, the whole model is contingent on that, and that's going to incur costs if some things go wrong. And right. I feel like that's why they were, at least in the long term and the return on investment, they have to acquire. They had to acquire to supplement that Game Pass, so they're not paying these crazy out-of-pocket costs for the third-party things. That's why they can lead with their first-party stuff on Game Pass. And, you know, if they want to supplement it with some other third-party stuff like Lies of P or whatever, they don't have to pay as much for a AAA title because they'll have it in their bag. That's why, for another thing we're going to talk about in a little bit, that's why they're justifying all their stuff. They don't want to pay $100 million every time out just to be competitive or look like we're attractive in comparison to the first party juggernaut stuff they have on PlayStation. So that's a lot. But speaking of that listing and some of the games posting, we had some more reveals on some of the internal perspective games and the hardware schedule that they had kind of set up and aligned for them at some point. Again, this is subject to change. We don't know if it's adjusted at this point, but via the leaks, we now had some information that there was a potential handheld that was being discussed. There was an Oblivion remaster being discussed. The next Doom game is somewhere slated down the line. Dishonored 3 is also in the cards. Fallout 3 remaster is also in the cards. And last but certainly not least, and we had a lot of information about this, Elder Scrolls 6 will be, of course, coming, but it won't be on PS5. They're locking that down. They said that's exclusive. It ain't going nowhere else but Xbox and PC. So thoughts on some of the games and some of the hardware stuff that you saw from this breakdown? We can go to you first, Wen.
The Doom thing, I'm excited for a handheld. It'd be funny if they did a handheld because they would probably do better in the handheld market than PlayStation, which is a little bit, to me, would be a slap in the face if I was PlayStation, knowing that like I've had time and experience in that market. And they're trying to go back into that market with their little remote play thing. They can argue that it's not handheld, but it's literally what it is. I think that that's interesting. Elder Scrolls 6 not being on PlayStation, to me, is surprising. Nor is it really that big of a loss. Maybe call me a Starfield hater or like a Bethesda hater, but even Starfield, I don't feel like Starfield not being on PlayStation doesn't feel like that big of a loss to me personally.
Starfield, not so much just because the brand recognition is not as crazy, but Elder Scrolls definitely is. Yeah, yes, it is.
No,
yes, it is. Yes,
no. If it plays, if it's gonna be the same,
I don't think it is anymore. I agree with Wen.
I think it
is. If you think that Elder Scrolls or whatever, my bad. I keep trying to call it Elder. I'm sorry, but I don't think it matters that much anymore after seeing Starfield, because Starfield just feels like Fallout in space, right? And it's not about the IP, it's about the game.
I hear you.
When I see Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever, if they're going to put the same amount of love and quality and time that they put into Starfield for it to release like a game that feels 2 years too late, I'm not, as a PlayStation owner, I'm not really going to be too sad about it. I'm just going to be like, okay, they got that. I'm going to play Wolverine over here. You guys have fun with Elder Scrolls 6.
Listen, Go ahead.
No, I don't even think it's like that. I feel like a lot of people have PCs at this point, and Game Pass is like accessible. If you really want to play it, you'll get Game Pass. Like when you say it all the time, like if you really want to play it, like you'll get Game Pass. I feel like it's not that big of a deal for the average person, like at this point in time anymore. Who cares?
I will say this. I feel like we're missing a kind of important detail or footnote in this case here. A lot of these motherfuckers is not thinking that hard, or they're not thinking at all. I.e., some of these motherfuckers is very, very, very stupid. They not going. I don't think they're gonna see, the Starfield reception or whatever, and they're not gonna take that into account when they see, the rollout for Elder Scrolls 6. They're just going to think, oh, shoot, Oblivion, Skyrim. Again, the spread of how many people have played Skyrim over its various versions, all 6,485 of them over, the past decade, that's a serious thing to consider. Again, I'm basing it off of the brand value and not so much the gameplay loop, because if that was taken into consideration, sales wouldn't be skyrocketing for certain games. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But just the fact of the momentum of the name, of the Elder Scrolls name, the fact that it's that high, I feel like it would just naturally be a big sales success, and not putting it on PlayStation for some. That may be a worry.
I think you're understating the power of like being able to buy Game Pass and then being able to play it. And I think that is opening up more doors than you actually think for a lot of other people that would have a PC in this day and age.
Oh no! I don't want to discount. I don't want to discount that either. But I'm just saying, like in terms of saying, go ahead.
It's like maybe like you'll have like the few weirdos that are going to yell and scream and be like it should be on the PS5. But like, how much is Game Pass?
Yeah, well, it was like fucking.
Oh,
and where can you play Game Pass?
I get what you're saying. I think,
yeah.
So you're saying that like because it's going to be on Game Pass, it's worse for them because people aren't going to buy it because they can just get it on Game Pass.
Just for the actual commercial sales part of it.
I don't even think it's going to be worse. I think that like it's at a point now, like I think Game Pass is really good. One, Wen is the person that got me on it. And two, I think that like if you really want to play a game, I feel like getting Game Pass is like to just play that one game is not a big deal because you're getting so much value out of it. I feel like we're past that point now. I feel like this actually hurts Sony more like than anything else before.
Because you think it hurts Sony?
Not hurts them in reality, like not like actually hurts them, but I think that like people will be like, I want to get Game Pass for this.
Mm-hmm. That's
if you're a Sony fanboy, that's what I'm saying.
It's the level of aggression in this model, and now that first party stuff is starting to flow, it's going to be a pronounced like Xbox can finally say, oh, we got games, because it's something that PlayStation doesn't have. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to play as nice anymore because now they're starting to take it back. Starfield, again, in terms of the quality and reception, that's up for debate. But the fact of availability, they have the claim to it entirely. Now that we're going to see that ball rolling a lot more. And the case of Xbox Game Pass, it's going to become even more compelling at the detriment of people who just only own PlayStation or just brand loyalists to PlayStation. That's real. I think that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing. And whether stupid ass console war things or not, I'm just saying in terms of the competition between the two, now we're having that clear line of Xbox doesn't have to just play nice and have certain things everywhere. Again, Call of Duty they did sign off on, but for everything else, we're going to show you why you need Game Pass. We're going to show you why you need either an Xbox or a PC, and you need to be in our ecosystem at bare minimum. So that's what I think that is, bro. But outside of that, we had a lot of console updates itself. First and foremost, we had a mid-gen update, or I guess a mid-gen leak, considering what might be on the way, with a refresher update to the design of the Xbox Series X with 2 terabyte storage and a diskless design, looking more like circular or cylindrical in nature. Had a brand new style controller with gyro, damn, the word I just stumbled upon, that was so simple. Gyro and haptic feedback, and planning to drop in October 2024 for mid-gen. And for the complete next-gen update, we had some early signs that they were thinking about looking into a multi-device model between cloud, consoles, phones, and handhelds, have some connection across that ecosystem. And they're planning 2028 to target for next gen with the cloud focus, quote-unquote cloud hybrid games, with some dev kits coming in 2027. So how do we feel about all the console updates and news we're getting from this leak? That's crazy.
Sucks to me because I definitely bought an Elite controller, and I'm definitely not buying another one.
Yeah, I'm kind of tight. I literally just bought a Elite controller last week for Starfield. I literally just did it.
They're nice. They're
so good. Oh my gosh.
But other than that, I'm just sure. Like I find it hard to care about the Xbox because I have a PC. 2 terabyte storage, I feel like should come standard with a lot of these launch titles now because everything is so goddamn big.
Mm-hmm.
Diskless, I hate with a burning passion. I genuinely do because, mind you, I have a PC that doesn't have a
disc tray.
Yeah, but I don't like. If I didn't have a PlayStation, I would definitely get a disc tray. And there's also a difference between like a PC not having a disc tray and a PlayStation or an Xbox not having a disc tray, because at the end of the day, these consoles are meant to be on a TV. There's meant to be entertainment systems. Why are we taking away the disc from an entertainment system? I understand streaming is the future, but some motherfuckers got DVDs and Blu-rays.
Facts.
Like not everything is on streaming.
That's
Make
a fact.
pay more.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, and it's awful.
And I don't like it. Yeah, we're slowly hitting that inevitable part where we're going diskless and we're not going to have any physical media anymore, and that's going to suck. I don't like it, and it's the unfortunate fact of the matter. We're stuck with these non-physical bums. But I say I want physical media, and I think again it's getting phased out all across the board. So it just sucks to see. That sucks to see.
I would be less reluctant to it if digital meant that it became cheaper.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But they're justifying the cost of production and shooting everything up on that end. So we're paying like $10 more for that. Like,
yeah, nah.
Shit is all fucked. It's terrible. It's terrible. But last, but certainly not least, out of these leaks, or at least the major updates, we had a really interesting look in at the conversation of discussion behind Xbox potentially acquiring Warner Brothers and another, a fairly significant player in the gaming space, Nintendo themselves potentially being acquisition targets. So, this is kind of insane. Phil Spencer in the email, he was kind of saying, Nintendo's the prime asset for Xbox and gaming. He was like, this could be a career defining move if that could happen, but. This was a little bit a while back. I believe it was in 2020 where they were looking at ZeniMax at the same time and they were looking at Warner Brothers, but they weren't discounting, acquiring Nintendo, which is wild to me. But Kendall, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about this talk?
Supposedly Nintendo had laughed at them about this
a while ago in 2015.
Yeah, a while ago, they laughed at them about this, and it's obviously at the height of the Switch. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way that you think that they will ever. They found how to make their ultimate transition by combining their handheld gamers and their console gamers. Mm-hmm. There's just no way. They're not ever. It's just never going that direction. Just give it up.
Yeah. How you feel?
I would even go so far as to say even at Switch's lowest, they couldn't afford Nintendo.
No.
It's I've been reading this the Nintendo memoir, I guess would be the best way to describe it, just the story of Nintendo and how they became the titan that they are. Actually specifically how they took over America is literally what's on the title of the book. But it's just so funny because when you see their history of we are going to make video games in an industry that literally imploded mega corporations, and people didn't even want imagine if Coca-Cola started making soda after every store in America was I don't want to carry any soda in my store. You'd be they're crazy, and they made it work. That's what's insane. So no matter how little Pikmin sells or how many games flop, I think they will go bankrupt before they decide to sell to anybody. They know what, I don't even want to say that they know what they're doing, because I genuinely cannot tell sometimes. But one thing is for sure is that they're going to get this bag, and they're not going to bow down to anybody to get said bag. They are in a lane of their own, and the only people that can take them off that lane is themselves. They literally are the only people that can derail the Nintendo train. And some would argue that they will at some point. I cannot deny that. But as of right now, there's absolutely no reason Nintendo should sell to Xbox, because what game did Nintendo drop that was so bad that people were yeah, they got to hang it up? But if you say the same thing about Xbox, everybody's going to say they're going to say Redfall. Oh, shut up. Yeah. But here's the thing about Star Fox. That was awful. It was a total catastrophe. But after Star Fox, what was it?
Damn, I can't remember, but
I can't name one either. And it's either because they are good at hiding their mistakes or because they don't have that many. Now, if you talk about fucking Xbox, you got Redfall.
You're right.
Halo.
Shadow Recore.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of flops. And Nintendo they just know what they're doing. And and here's the thing about the Nintendo brand, it's the same thing with the Disney brand. At the end of the day, all the new games could flop. They re-release one of the bangers, it's wrapped. It doesn't matter. This was a slow year for Nintendo. Did we tell you we got Star Fox Assault HD textures? They don't even have to do anything else, just HD textures, and you're oh yeah, this is the best year for Nintendo. Amazing. Oh my god, what an amazing thing. We just released Mario Baseball. I thought you guys were $1 billion in the red. No, that's Square Enix, not us anymore. We got Mario Baseball. You want to get it? I'll buy 7 copies, all digital, same account. No reason other than just I need this game. They have such a strong backlog. They are one of the few companies with safety nets. Sony has safety nets too. Don't get me wrong. There are some Sony games that they could re-release today that will do some numbers, but it's not me re-releasing a Mario game. But they have some safety nets. Nintendo has literally an ocean of them. There are so many things that they can pull from that they will be fine no matter the financial situation. Xbox does not have any. I can't think of one Xbox game that I would be I'd pay top dollar if they brought this bad boy back.
I mean, I'm not gonna open my mouth. I'm just gonna open myself for slander. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That's a smart decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna save myself this week. I was about to say I've been hunted enough over my time on this podcast for my fucking Xbox takes. But I will say this. On one side, there's absolutely no way in hell Nintendo will sell to anybody. I agree with you. When they will rather like absolutely implode their entire company. You know what I'm saying? Go down to the hilt, to the last man, to the last dollar, to the last trading card back in their old days until they, before they consider selling to somebody else. I think there's too much pride in it. They have too much stake. They've carved out their own market. They've carved out their own niche in that side, and they're to an extent they're untouchable. Until any of them can find a perfect hybrid between, again, like Kendall said, that console and handheld gaming market, until they can have brands as powerful as a Pokemon, a Mario, or whatever to combat people on sales. You can't touch them. You can't touch them. You can complain about them all they want. They can make their own mistakes, but they have a buffer because they're Nintendo. That's literally it. They are their name. Their name is their name. That's literally it. But I will say this on the Xbox part. Acquisition is their only way to get proper foothold in this market, as we've seen over the past few years and as it is now. I know there's the concept of fairness and the concept of, like just their intent. I'm not gonna lie. If Nintendo was even like a consideration now at this point in time, like there actually really is no telling what Microsoft will do at this point to get on even more even footing. I don't know. Like, could Valve be on the cards? I don't listen. They have enough
Valve could not be on the cards.
That's what I'm saying, because that is complete. That's monopoly. That's basic monopoly. Yeah. You've dominated the PC market. That's literally the end of the conversation.
Well, I think they're not on the cards because they have Steam. Like, I don't think they would have to sell for something like that would be, I feel like, crippling to Microsoft. I don't know Microsoft's pockets, but I think
Microsoft pockets is deep. But I don't know how much I don't know how much Xbox Microsoft pockets is deep. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much they got let off the leash.
But they could be as deep as they want. Like, Valve has damn near monopoly on the PC market, so they would have to sell for an exorbitant price. You know what I'm saying? But you know what isn't as big as Valve, that has a lot of value in their properties. Riot Games. And they do have a little collaboration with that Game Pass, because you get the lead characters and you get the Valorant agents if you got.
That's true.
I'm not throwing ideas at.
Well, I would say Riot Tencent though. Riot Tencent not going.
Riot is Tencent. All right, you're right.
Tencent not going.
But how much is Tencent? Maybe now we're thinking of a bigger fish than even. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, Tencent. That's insane.
That would be wild.
Yeah, Tencent is freaking insane. But yeah, all I'm saying is the sentiment is though that Microsoft can lean into a very dangerous territory where they've acquired already a big fish in Activision. This is basically done, and they have enough bandwidth to tackle everything on the mobile front, the console front, and whatever periphery front, VR, cloud, the next gen, whatever. Whatever they do next can be very, very, very dangerous for gaming, in my opinion. Now, beforehand, I was like, listen, I think Activision's a good line for them to get ahead in the game or get up in the game and try and catch up. But from now, it's like, yo, we really got to watch what's going on, because, this could border on real anti-competition, like serious level of anti-competition. Before, this Activision stuff, I think it was mostly BS. Because PlayStation didn't want to see it happen. You know what I'm saying? They was bugging. What really did Xbox have before that? Now that we're here, it's like, yo, Xbox they can make some very, very groundbreaking things, and I don't know what the ripple effect will be if that happens in the future. I just know they're in a dangerous state of mind, and the fact that they have Nintendo in the back of their head, like, yo, we could really bag y'all. We could probably bag y'all as recent as 3 years ago when they were in the pits. I'm just saying, a desperate character, we don't know what they're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? And even though they're getting up now, they're still, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term, playing bronze. So stuff could be different in the future. This is definitely, though, a very revealing set of documents. But with that being said, that's all I got in these damn notes, bro. It's been a lot of talk, a lot of deep stories this week. But anything that we might have missed?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, off top of my head, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 dropped a zombie trailer, huh? How about that? Yeah, come on. Yeah.
No.
No. Okay, I'm just alone.
Definitely not.
All right, there it goes. I'm alone. All right. I'm not with them either. I'm just saying, I'm just bullshitting. But anyways, we can take it on out of here, man. Our guest for today, Ken knows it. Kendall, you know what I'm saying, is in the building. Please give us your closing notes. Thank you so much for stopping in on this episode, fam.
Yo, thank you for having me. I appreciated it. It's always great to be on the pod. And yeah, man.
Yes, where can we find you, good sir?
Ken Knows on YouTube.
Facts. He don't want to say shit, but my man said literally just hit 16K. He need 20K by the end of this year, and we gonna help. Make sure you go sub up, man. Go sub up and show him some love on everything, man. My man does, I'm about to say, just a lot of different commentary on the gaming space, on what's happening, you know what I'm saying, as of the latest stuff, on top of his usual Splatoon, you know what I'm saying, stuff. Some real variety going in there, so make sure you check in on him, you know what I'm saying, and do the damn thing. But when? Closing notes before we get up out of here.
Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you tap in with us and check out the content. We got a couple cool little videos coming your way from like our respective Cooldown, myself, growth. Like there's a lot going on, so make sure you tap in for all of that. And yeah, man, enjoy gaming.
Literally, we are actually in a crazy time for games. Just make sure you drink your water. Don't be a weirdo. Touch grass. You know what I'm saying? Just do your thing, man. Just do your thing. Have some fun. Enjoy life. Enjoy these games, because there's a lot of them coming. And if y'all want to send me some money to play more of these games, that would be fantastic, because my wallet definitely is aching a little bit looking at all this shit. I need help. GoFundMe is going to be in the link below. But anyways, make sure you go rate this podcast 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Check us all out. No Cooldown Podcast on all platforms. No Cooldown Pod on Twitter. And just show us some love, man. Just show us some love. We're out here. We're doing the thing. Make sure you check out all the exclusive content coming on some of the respective channels like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that good jazz. Make sure you check out all the fine people who are involved with this podcast. All the links should be in the description below. And with that being said, I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm talking like a damn 80s MC. But we getting up out of here, man. That has been No Cooldown Podcast. We are... Where are we? Oh, yeah, no, we're out of here. My bad. We're good.